Hello, this is Brooke Mahoney, and today I'll be talking about Tarte Cosmetics Shape Tape Foundation crisis and how they rebuilt their reputation through crisis communication strategies. On January 1st, 2018, Tarte shared a clip on Instagram teasing a Shape Tape foundation. This was a highly anticipated product from Tarte, as it is the predecessor to their #1 best-selling Shape Tape concealer, which was released in 2016. On July 12, 2018, Twitter users shared this image of the Tarte Shape Tape foundation swatches, calling out Tarte for the lack of shades for darker skin tones. The foundation was compared to Rihanna's Fenty Beauty foundation, which launched a few weeks prior in 40 different shades. On January 15, 2018, Tarte Cosmetics followed through with the release of Shape Tape Foundation, which came in 2 different formulas and 15 shades. The next day, beauty influencers Jackie Anya and Alyssa Ashley posted a video to YouTube called Black Girls React to Tarte Shape Tape Foundation, sharing their criticism of the lack of shades available for makeup wearers with darker skin tones. This video now has over 5 million views. Tarte turned around and shared an apology post on Instagram. The cosmetics company also told Pop Sugar about their plan to gradually release 10 more shades, but the formulas were not yet finished. In the upcoming days, media outlets including Cosmopolitan, Teen Vogue, Allure, and more published stories sharing details of the controversy. Beauty influencers, including the beauty community's most prominent creators, James Charles and Jeffree Star, kept Tarte in the public eye, posting reviews on the foundation and criticizing Tarte for its extremely embarrassing shade range. Both Charles and Star's videos now have over 6 million views. Jump to a few months later, and Tarte expanded 4 of its foundation and concealer lines, upping the popular Amazonian Clay foundation to 40 shades with 15 different undertones. Tarte founder and CEO Maureen Kelly tells Allure, "I made a mistake and let all my tartlets down," in regards to the criticism she received after the initial Shape Tape foundation launch. On February 17, 2019, Tarte relaunched the Shape Tape foundation, which is now available in 50 shades. "That wasn't the right way to release that foundation," Kelly told Refinery29 on how Tarte started from scratch making the new Shape Tape foundation. The key organizations involved in this case is Tarte Cosmetics, and the key publics involved in the case are media outlets, beauty influencers, Tarte customers, and people of color. The editors and journalists at media outlets like Allure, Teen Vogue, and Refinery29 are a pivotal relationship for Tarte because these outlets have the ability to influence a wide and prolonged audience on Tarte's reputation. Beauty influencers are an important relationship because they share opinions and criticism with followers across all social media platforms. Makeup lines will often send influencers like James Charles and Jeffree Star PR packages so the influencers can share the product with their followers. If the influencer does not support the product or brand, chances are their followers will not either. Customers are obviously an important relationship because they are what keeps Tarte Cosmetics going. Without a strong customer base, Tarte would not be able to meet their goal, which is ultimately to sell products. With this release, many customers were left disappointed once they saw the lack of offerings that Shape Tape had. More specifically are Tarte's customers of color and people of color in the makeup community. Tarte neglected to include these individuals, therefore they need to work on rebuilding a relationship on the premise of inclusion and sincerity in order to regain their reputation as a brand. Tarte's initial weaknesses were their neglect to conduct environmental scanning. This threatened their integrity as the release came at a time of peak progressive movement in the beauty community, and the line was compared to Rihanna's Fenty Beauty and was labeled a whitewashed makeup line. While a rocky start, Tarte did have a strong crisis communication strategy. They were able to give cohesive and consistent responses and apologized for mistakes and vowed their plans to do better. This led them to opportunities to expand and improve across the company. For response tactics, Tarte utilized defensive response, vocal commiseration, and rectifying behavior. Tarte formed a cultivated and released a single thorough response, acknowledging their faults and stating their apology and their plans to do better. Tarte then went on to expand their shade ranges over the next year. In terms of communication tactics, they used face-to-face communication for internal communication and making sure all employees were on the same page and were focused on the same goals. Organizational media they used by having a direct and consistent voice across all media platforms, and all quotes came directly from the founder and CEO. On new media, they spoke directly to their customer base, and in terms of advertising and promotional media, they released new shades and formulas where they formed their campaigns around inclusivity. When analyzing Tarte's strategy, some aspects negatively impacted them, and others helped them rebuild their reputation. In terms of timing, Tarte just met the 3-day response mark. When considering the rule of 45 minutes, 6 hours, 3 days, and 2 weeks, Tarte did suffer reputational damage in the media for about 2 weeks. A prematurely released photo led to Tarte's initial criticism as customers pointed out the lack of diversity. Tarte effectively used written and spoken language to rebuild their reputation. They released a well-worded and detailed apology across social media and knew how to directly acknowledge their stakeholders, with all quotes cohesive and sincere coming from Maureen Kelly, Tarte's founder and CEO. Issues of fairness, advocacy, and loyalty led to Tarte's crisis. Tarte failed to consider people of color, excluding half of their customer base. Influencers then used their platform to advocate for people of color and diversity in the makeup community. They did this by refraining from advertising Tarte's products until the company expanded their shade ranges. So what are the 3 important takeaways we can take from here? First, we have environmental scanning. If Tarte had done this, they could have prevented this crisis by acknowledging the climate in the beauty industry and the recent discussion creating more inclusive makeup. They also could have listened to customers when commenting and sharing on Twitter leading up to the release. Luckily, once Tarte realized the launch would not be as the success that they anticipated it to be, they already had a strong crisis communication plan embedded. The company knew to suspend business as usual and focus on the crisis at hand, and they understood what stakeholders were expecting and how Tarte needed to respond. This leads us to takeaway 3, the importance of internal communication and having a focused goal. All media quotes came from founder and CEO Maureen Kelly and aligned with the message on Tarte's social media. And because all employees were on the same page, Tarte was able to successfully expand 4 product lines in 2018 and relaunch Shape Tape Foundation with 50 shades in February 2019. Thank you.